It's 2024. AI is taking over the universe. 60,000 songs are being released every single day. How is your music going to stand out? The game isn't just about the quality of your music anymore. What are you doing to stand out as an artist? The answer is creating an organic sound. Guys, welcome to episode 7 in the series where I'm taking you from beginner to pro in making music. If you're new to this series, I just want to say welcome. There's a back catalog of 6 other fantastic videos that you can watch if you're looking to up your game and learn music production for the first time. I just want to sharpen your skill. Like the title of this video states, today we're specifically focused on how to build an organic sound in your music. What exactly am I talking about when I say organic sound? I'm talking about an edge that's going to set you apart from the pack. I'm talking about the amazing qualities that make you unique from every single other person on the planet. Wherever you're at in your music production journey, this video is me walking you through my mental process of all the skills that you need to know and learn to become a professional in this craft. And I'm walking you through not only the technical side, but also the mentality that you need to have to accomplish these tasks. And that oftentimes is honestly more important than the technical skills. All of this is being done, as you can see, in a much more laid back tone than my usual videos or in the minivan. It's not professional at all. It screams a learning environment to me though. So we're beginning as usual the drive to the gym. I actually just pulled up at the gym, talking you through what we're doing. Gonna get a quick back workout in. Just finished at the gym. It's just one of the best mental prep things you can do, in my opinion, whenever you're about to get into some creative work. Your mental space is so important, and gym is great. Gotta love it. Driving home right now. Going to jump into the studio, and we're gonna start talking more. I'm gonna show you some practical ways and techniques that you can use to make organic sounding music. Let's be real. Like we were talking about earlier, AI is on the rise like never before. It's not just AI either. There's so many resources that are completely free online. Ways to make your voice sound amazing. Ways to make loops. And that's kind of the number one thing that AI is being used for right now, is it can actually generate loops for you, which is just completely wild. We did a video on music theory just a couple videos back, and with the rise of AI, you don't even really need the theory of music anymore to make great music. You can just jump in and select not just pre-played sounds, but you can customize the AI to get something specific that's unique compared to people around you. And so in that scene of all this stuff going on, how are you gonna come up with a unique sound? This video's gonna be my approach to that question, how I tackle that, and how I stay creative and try to stay above that tide of creators who are definitely gonna be coming on the music scene, creating music that's basically generated in a large part not even from their own imagination, but assisted using AI. Now I want to make it clear too, I don't think it's cheating at all to use these tools and resources that everybody has access to, but I know as creators that we want to keep integrity about what we're actually making, and to actually make sure that's something that we're creating, not somebody else's work essentially. We'll dig into this in the studio more as well, but the main technique that you can take home with you to creating organic sounding tracks is by using a combination of different methods of creation. Even rhymes for you. Using a combination of different methods of creation. That's kind of a lot of words. I'm going to break down really simply what this means and what this can look like. It's creating your track using a bunch of different kinds of mediums instead of sticking to just 1, 2, or 3. We're going to jump into that today. And this video is going to be covering a lot of the other techniques that we've already covered in the first half of this video series. So if you haven't seen those videos, or you don't know what I'm talking about, there is something, if you go back through the catalog that I've got through the YouTube playlist, you can check them out. Highly recommend. starting from episode 1 and working your way through, especially if you're a beginner at this. Just want to serve up and coming music creators, people who are in my shoes when I was 15, 16, 17, whatever age, wherever you're jumping in. I want to help you skip a lot of the early struggles that I had creating music. Let me get showered, we'll jump into the studio and get into this. What's up, guys? We're back from the gym. Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It's actually a new day. I just woke up. You can probably tell. But we're filming this video, teaching you how to make an organic sound in the studio. Let's get into it. All right, we are in our project here. You can see I kind of have a guideline of what our organic sound is going to consist of. It's going to be a combination of a few different things: loops and samples, original recordings, Foley, and then our MIDI combo for punch, which we'll jump into the elements of each one of these things. I'll show you how I specifically like to think about it. The main idea with combining all of these things is that as you're combining different layers of how you personally create into one thing, it's going to become harder and harder for somebody else to replicate it and for AI to replicate it, if that makes sense. And of course, the intention isn't just so that we can make something that AI couldn't do. It's to make great music. So just keep that in mind. The not AI, that's just kind of, we're just kind of joking around there. Again, before we jump into everything, all these different elements, loops and samples, voice memos, recording, I guess Foley we'll kind of get into today, and then making MIDI tracks. This is all covered in previous videos in this series, so if you're specifically looking for videos on each one of these topics, I recommend going back through the playlist that this video is in and checking out those other videos. Today we're making a song combining all of them. Alright, let's start with our loops and samples. Like I showed you earlier today, you can get stock loops right from Logic that sound really good. They have thousands and thousands, so you can sort by instrument, the genre, descriptors. There's all sorts of loops that you can find in Logic, which is really awesome. Today in this video, we'll switch it up since we already made a song using stock Logic loops. I'm going to find a loop that's outside of Logic, and we're going to bring it into this project. I'm going to blur my screen just because I don't need you guys seeing my folders. Okay, I get a little privacy here. Alright, I've dragged in this sample. It looks like it's by Tyler, the Creator. I haven't heard the specific song before, if it is, so hopefully we'll chop it up a little bit different if it is from one of his songs. So basically our tempo before was at 120, and the different thing that you have to do when you're working with a loop that's outside of Logic, or when you're working with a sample, is you have to find the downbeat first. So I listen to it. There's a downbeat right there. Boom, that's the downbeat. So then we line this up with the kind of beginning of the measure here, and then we turn on our metronome and we just listen. You can hear that it's not lined up with our tempo right now, so we're just gonna adjust it. I'm gonna try to make the beat go twice as fast as these chord stabs right here that we're hearing. So let's just try this out, listen to it. Perfect. Yeah, sounds way better. I'm just gonna take this beginning portion of the loop to make it sound different. We're just gonna pitch it down. awesome. We've got our loop portion of this taken care of. Again, in this song, we're going to be using a combination of all of these different elements, loop samples, original recordings, Foley, and MIDI. But in reality, you could really use just a combo of a couple of these, like a sample and MIDI combo. Next, let's move on to our original recordings, our voice memos, record some ideas. I'm going to cheat a little bit today. I got this mic sitting right here, guys. It's a little too easy for me to, I just want to record on this. It'll be a lot faster. Double that. Doubling, man, does wonders. I'm gonna keep layering my voice here and just come up with as many melodies as I can think of, basically, kind of like a choir sound. Okay. I was smiling. I ruined that take. Let's redo that. Guys, the lyrics, just random garbage, okay? Doesn't mean anything. It just the melody sounds good. We're focused on the production here, not the songwriting. Just get jamming. It's an important part of the process right there. All right, next up, we need some Foley. And Foley is the sound effects that build the atmosphere of a track. And I'm picturing some city, like cars honking at each other, stuff like that. And unfortunately, I don't live by a city, so we're gonna go into our loops and we're gonna look up, see if we can find something, basically. Yeah, look at this. Alright, I found some city atmosphere. That sounds pretty good. Threw it in at the beginning of the track, and you can hear it just changes the tone. We're in a city now. You can feel the mood. That takes us into our last and final piece of this, which is our MIDI combo. So far, we've just used these audio elements either from another source or by creating it ourselves. And finally, what we're going to do is create using MIDI. So we'll create an empty track right here. And this is going to basically be the beat, like the drums, bass of the song. I think we could add some synthesizers and other crazy stuff in here if we want, but we'll just keep it really simple for the sake of the video. Start off with some drums here. Let's record this drum groove. One technique I'm going to use on these drums to help it fit in better with the feel of the song is I'm not going to completely quantize them. I'm going to leave them a little bit unquantized, if that's a word. So to do that, we're going to come into our MIDI, select all these notes here, choose our 8th note, and you can see the strength is at 100, so we're just going to dial that back to maybe like 60. Finally, let's lay down some bass on this thing. With samples, the tricky thing can be sometimes figuring out the chords to the sample. So I'm gonna have to do that right now on the bass and just figure out what bass notes would sound good. And usually jumping up a couple octaves to be able to hear the pitch actually is really helpful. So that's what I'm gonna do. Figured out the notes. Just gonna record a simple bass line. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was useful to you. As you can see, we went through each one of these steps. We added a loop, we doubled original recording on top of that, added some Foley in there to give some atmosphere, and then our MIDI combo, just drums and bass down here for that punch. Hope this was useful to you in building your own organic sound from scratch. Again, we're in the middle of a series on this channel, taking you from beginner to pro, teaching you all the skills you need in between, so stay tuned for that. Subscribe today. Go back through old videos if you want any other topics. See you next week. Peace.